NFL opening lines have dropped, and here's where my head's at heading into Wildcard Weekend. First up, San Francisco 49ers -10 versus the Seahawks. The 49ers are legit. That defense will smother Geno Smith, and on the offensive side of the ball, they're getting healthy at the right time, getting Deebo Samuel back, and Elijah Mitchell. I know Brock Purdy leaves some question marks, but I'm very comfortable laying 10 points at home against the Seahawks. Next up, we got LA Chargers as they head over to Jacksonville to take on the Jaguars. I know the Jaguars are on a 5-game win streak, and Trevor Lawrence is proving he's legit, but I just have a lot more faith in these Chargers. I took them in some futures at the start of the year, and I'll be taking them in futures now. This team, it's scrappy, they play well offensively, and they have the defensive chops to keep up with their opposition. I'm not trusting this Jaguars team just yet. They're going to have a promising future, but that doesn't start here. Next up, Dolphins +10.5 at the Buffalo Bills. There's some big question marks surrounding the Miami Dolphins. Tua Tagovailoa may be back, he might not, but this team has played well without him. I'm not saying they're going to win the game outright, but 10.5 points against a kind of shaky Buffalo Bills team over the last couple weeks, I'll happily take that. Now this is a big one a lot of people might not agree with, but Minnesota Vikings -3 versus the Giants. I know the Vikings are the fraud team of the year. They've gone 11-0 in one-score games. They have a negative point differential, but against the Giants, I just don't see why this line is 3. The Vikings are at home, they've played well offensively, and the Giants, they've kind of struggled heading into the playoffs. They've had their spot locked up. I know they've rested their starters, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're in for a win. Take that Vikings -3, and I'll even tease that down to -6.5. Next up, Baltimore Ravens +6.5. Lamar Jackson is coming back, I hope, and I'll take that +6.5 if he is. Of course, I'm not going to be placing this bet now. I'm going to be waiting until the injury report comes out later in the week. But I know the Bengals have played well. They're on a big win streak. But the Ravens +6.5, it's a tight divisional AFC North battle, one of the battlegrounds of the NFL, and I'll take those 3 points. Finally, we got the big one, Tampa Bay Buccaneers +3 versus the Cowboys. I'll be taking this +3, and I'll be taking the money line as well. The Cowboys just don't impress me. Everyone likes to call the Vikings the fraud of the year, but I think it's the Cowboys. They've played terribly against the Commanders last week, highlighting their offensive lapses, and that game could have easily been a 30-point blowout. On the other side of the field, we got Tom Brady, the GOAT, getting 3 free points at home in a playoff game. What's there not to like? Take that +3, leave a like, leave a follow, and as always, don't sleep.